Bub, who taught you how to pour a bucket? That's why Randy's Employee of the Month. Welcome back to CNC Equipment's YouTube channel. We've got something a little different for you today. We've got a big Christmas present. What is it, Hunter?
Something that cuts, bub.
Cuts.
Well, unlike my knife.
Your knife doll. Well, we can cut a new one out on our new plasma table. So if you guys have been watching our channel for a while, you know I've had a plasma cutter way over there in that other room. It's actually gone now. I sold it yesterday. A guy come picked it up. I've had it for, I don't know, 12, 13 years or something like that. But we were wanting to update it. It's been a good table for sure, but I was talking to the guys at Fast Cut CNC up in Canada, and we actually worked a little deal out with them. So we're going to get this thing unwrapped here and check it out. But we've got another 5x10 table. That means I can cut a 5x10 sheet. So this thing's looking pretty good, ain't it? The problem is I just got to figure out how to run this one. I know it's going to be totally different. I can see it's a little bit bigger too. Another problem is we got to get it in the hole over here. We had to dolly the other one out. We'll show you that here in a second. Alright, so you guys have probably seen this room here before. It's actually kind of bare right now. Mr. Mason's in there cleaning up a big mess, aren't you?
Yep.
So yeah, we had a plasma table sitting here. It literally left yesterday, so we're going to get the walls and stuff cleaned up in here because it's been, the old table's been in here for about 6.5 years. And it's kind of nasty, and we got to make room for the new one here. So when I first brought that other plasma table in, I didn't have this press brake in, and if you notice, this press brake kind of hangs past the door a little bit. So I know that new one's not going to fit in there, but we got these dollars, so we took the other one, set it sideways, kind of rolled it out, and then probably do the same thing with this one. Set some dollars and kind of roll it in there, but we'll get all this cleaned up and we'll be back.
On this episode, members only. Mason in the bubble bath. Go Mason, go Mason. That's right, bub. Hey, you're doing good.
I can't stand it.
Keep up the good work.
Mason, you're doing such a good job.
It looks like crap, Mason.
Look at that nice clean wall Mason washed off. This video is all about Mason, isn't it? Alright, guys, we're getting her all squeegeed out. We're going to let this dry. It's kind of getting late in the day, and tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll bring that big table in here. Morning. We got everything cleaned up, dried up. Mr. Hunter's going to back this dude in. He's going to back her right in this hole right here with the forklift. I'm going to try to get these feet here, Hunter, up on that concrete ledge if we can. Look at those forklift driving skills. He's in a little grumpy mood this morning. He stayed up too late at the rodeo fair.
You find your cowgirl, bub?
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. Come straighten your tires up and come on in a little. We can probably make that work. Alright, we got some little dollies we're going to stick under there.
Nobody wants to stand behind.
Hey, we need another forklift driver.
Da, 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 da.
Got Mr. Kevin on the other side of it with a little Taylor. I got those dollies kind of turned, so if you want to turn a little bit too, over this way. Alright, we got her in here sitting on some rollers. Kevin's been unboxing some stuff. You got a super sweet sign from Fast Cut CNC. We'll go over them a little bit later here, but why does this say only for Kevin?
Because it's only for Kevin, Bob.
What is it? Ah, I see why it says it's only for Kevin. They sent you some swag. Cool, cool. We'll get that out here in a second. What'd your little paper say? It had some super sweet.
It says stop.
Stop.
STO.
Did you read the instructions or not?
You're supposed to unpack the computer first.
Okay.
We probably ought to do that since we're ahead of the schedule.
Yeah. They got nice protective wrap over here. It's like, you think we're not going to scratch it up or anything?
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, we'll get the computer and stuff out, see how it fits up. This thing's quite a bit longer than my other one, so it's going to be interesting for sure. All right, we got her turned in here the right way. We're getting stuff unpackaged. This stuff is pretty nice to say the least. So they've got, we even got an Xbox controller. Kevin's over here playing with toys. You're gonna show him the computer we hooked up?
This is the computer we hooked up.
We got this thing built into a steel box. I mean, this thing getting tore up anywhere, is it? It's on a pivot there. Super nice quality stuff. So you guys remember old table? It's kind of older technology. It basically used chains and sprockets and motors to move those. This is all on screws, and it's going to be a lot more precision, more like a mill or something like that. So, but it's very, very nice quality so far. I'm pretty impressed with opening this dude up. But you guys can get on their website, fastcutcnc.com. I'll throw a little clip of that in here. But they offer two basic tables. This is a G8 fabricator here. I think they have an Elite series. It's more lighter based. I think it's built out of aluminum and stuff, but this is a heavy duty table. What do you say, Kevin?
Yeah.
Built nice. It's got excellent paint on it. Nice welds. Got fork pockets under here. That's super nice too for loading and unloading. They shipped this thing on a truck.
And it comes with
Even come with the tools, grease. I mean, they've got everything labeled. Even dummy people like us can figure out how to
hopefully
hook it up, we think. But we got our torch holder here. So we opted for a whole complete package. We got a new plasma cutter here from Hypertherm to set us up. I sold the old plasma cutter with my other machine. Again, it was about 12 years old or so. I've not had any issues out of that machine or table, but just wanting to update. But this is going to be a very nice setup. But very impressed so far with how everything is built, made, labeled, and all that stuff. So Kevin's into hooking up some wires to the CNC controller, but this thing ought to do the trick for years to come for sure. So they had protective wrap on top here so it didn't get scratched up and all that stuff. But yeah, they send on the truck. This company's out of Canada, British Columbia, so it's quite a ways from us, but they send on the truck. I'll throw a picture in here. It was actually tarped up, all wrapped up. Very nice for sure. So we reached out to them. I know they had some big YouTubers, other companies that's got some of these, so I reached out to him and talked with Russell. Super nice guy and everything. He's actually the owner, so when you call up here in the sales department, you're going to talk to the owner of the company, which I like that. It's not a great big company, but it's big enough. You got plenty of tech support and all that stuff, so I feel real good about it. But Mr. Kevin's getting some wires run up. We've still got a lot of hooking up to do once we get this thing hooked up. And we got to get it all leveled in place because this floor in here actually slopes out this way, so we got to get it perfectly level. So this is a water table, if you guys remember. My old one was a water table also. So but yeah, we've got a lot of work to do here. So
I got one cable.
One cable. What do you need now?
It's more.
Got a power cable?
Like 10 holes.
10 holes. You just start plugging stuff in, right?
Yeah.
We got it.
They use multiple heads.
That goes to the plasma cable to that probably. Yeah, it's pretty much, I think if it's like my old table, stuff can only be plugged in one way, so it's for troubleshooting. They even sent a complete backup file and all kinds of stuff, so lots of goodies. This is set up for Scribe 2. We actually got a cool, I don't know the name of it exactly, but we've got a mat you can lay out, and actually you can digitize the part. You can trace it and throw it up on the screen. So that's something I've never been able to do. So everything is in that one computer supposedly. So that's going to take us a little while to figure out, but it should be pretty cool. It's just like Christmas time around here.
What'd you do?
Well, Brunt sent us a whole box full of boots again.
They must like you.
Mine are getting, these are what, 8 or 10 months old? They're starting to get worn, but they've held up good. I've actually been fairly impressed. How's yours been doing?
Mine are great.
If you guys don't know, Brunt sent us a bunch of boots. I've had these on for 8 or 10 months, so they've been doing well. These are the Bulldogs, so I don't know if those some new boots on while I got some here. Get back to work.
Fancy boots.
Fancy boots. Nice shiny boots. You like those?
New table, new boots.
New table, new boots. Things are going great around here. There is a code to save you guys $10 off on these. I think it's CCE10 for Brunt boots, but that's always down in the description below. So, what do you think? We've been hooking stuff up. We got to show them what we did. Oh, we still got to put on that torch. Yeah. So we got the back wires all hooked up. Nice Allen screws threaded in there. They even included zip ties, and they got nice little holders to zip tie all these wires on. Already in there, they give you all this stuff. So nice, clean, slick setup. That's the most important part up here, bud. Tucker, what are you doing over here? Tucker's making some pins.
Tucker makes me nervous.
Does he?
Yeah, because we're hooking up electrical and it smells like hot metal.
It does
up
smell
here.
like burnt electrical.
So, I start feeling guilty.
Alright, we got the torch. Everything set up. We had to run the plasma torch lead through here. Got it run through. We got our plasma cutter set up. We got air plumbed in. They sent us a little jar kit. I think that's about it. We got it hardwired in. We're good. That's the same stand I used before. Once we get this up here, we'll tidy up the wires and stuff. So, yeah. You think we're ready to move it, bud? Tucker, you're throwing metal shavings on my brand new plasma cutter over here. How you doing? Looking wonderful? Don't walk away. He's got these little flags that's going to weld on there. Like that. Yeah, it fits. Making a couple pins for customer. Alright. We even got our Fast Cut CNC sign up there. Send us a little banner. We got a whole box of shirts and goodies. Alright. Are we ready to move this and get it leveled up?
Follow me in, Bob.
Are you working at the aircraft?
Yep.
Airport, bud?
Wasn't a traffic accident.
Set your forks back. See how heavy that table is. It's got that tire flattened quite a bit. Alright, Tucker, bring her in. He's got it all the way over that way right now. That's probably good.
Go ahead.
Straight in.
Drive straight in at that table.
This is what we have to deal with every day.
My dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandpa Brad. Okay, guys.
Alright, we got her set in place. We got her leveled up. Put some shims under the feet. We're going to fill it up with water and double check our levelness. And we just got a surprise of some green plasma cutter juice.
You can drink this stuff, bub.
Is that what they say? Are you going to drink it? Was this the guy that showed dipping his cup in the table and drinking it? No known significant effects or critical hazards. Alright, we're getting close to go time. It's getting close to lunch, so we're probably going to wait and plug her in after lunch, bub. We don't want to ruin her lunch hour.
No.
Bridget's been in here talking to Randy, praising him about one of my videos that you wasn't in.
Yeah.
Just cutting us down. You guys have been watching my videos. We rebuilt that transmission in that Dodge truck, and Randy was helping me the whole time. So he got a lot of... He never even talked either.
Maybe that's the best
Maybe
part.
that's the best part. You talk too much. Anyway, I think they relate because like 50% of my viewers is in his age group.
Yeah.
That's probably why. We better wait till this thing gets filled up before we pull that in there. I don't trust my leveling abilities.
It's too late, bub.
That stuff's not cheap.
8 pounds.
Bub, who taught you how to pour a bucket? That's why Randy's employee of the month.
Sliding out of my hands, bub.
We got the blue stuff. My last stuff was green. I got to figure up the volume. I think it may only take 2 buckets of
You
this.
just had to turn it on, didn't you?
All right, morning. We're back at it after the weekend.
Yeah.
You guys seen this a couple minutes ago. That was on Friday. We had to take off, but been playing with the table. Got Mr. Tucker here. He's trying to show me how to run it, aren't you?
I don't know what I'm doing.
We've been doing a few practice cuts. I think we got it figured out. We been messing around with the computer. They got all the instructions and stuff up here in the computer, even setting this thing up. We actually didn't use those when we set it up because we don't read instructions, right?
Apparently not.
But we had it all figured out. So, but the guys got everything set up here nice and neat. So, but I think, nope, that's not the one I wanted. I think we got it figured out. So we've been practicing these little cuts. We drew this up in the program, put it over in sheet cam, and measurements are coming out right. We've been killing the torch, you know, like if we had an accident or something in the middle of cut, trying to reset it, because this is all different than my other one. So, but you ready to cut something out for good? We got a grill we got to cut for big Oshkosh.
You done opened up your
Oh.
program.
And we've got a fuel tank to make for Hunter's truck. So we're gonna practice a couple more times, and we get something drawn up here for good, we'll bring you guys back. But I'm liking it so far. It's cutting super nice. I don't know where some of these other ones went, but it's cutting very nice. So you guys can see that nice true holes. It's cutting nicer than my other one was, I will say that. So we measured, stuff was measured, and then 2 or 3 thousandths what it's supposed to do, wasn't it? So cool. Now we just gotta draw something cool up. All right, we got a piece of steel up in there. Are you ready to try it? Tucker's got us a super sweet grill designed up there. I mean, you guys can see that real well, but got our logo over in the corner of it. Hopefully it's will cut out fine. We're gonna cut our logo letters out, and then these ovals and the star, and we got bolt holes, and then we'll cut the outside out. So fingers crossed that it works. He's getting her all squared up with the table right now. How'd you do, Bubby? Think it cut out all right? Stayed nice and flat. Didn't get hot. Well, we could have literally put that logo over the old grill, but how fun would that have been? We're kind of playing with it, testing it. Cut the holes out very nice. We had some issues with the letters. We put a little bit too long of lead ins and lead outs, but a little different program than what we were using last time. It's going to be ready for Mr. Kevin. Let's hold it up next to the other one and see how it looks. How good did it do?
Close enough for me.
Close enough for you. It's got to fit. You did flip it around the other way. How's it looking? Flip it around the way it goes.
My fit.
Flip it around the way it actually goes. We drew it up. It's gonna be close. I think Mr. Kevin can make that work, can he? These holes all lined up good.
I'll make it work somehow.
Oh yeah. Our ovals are off a little bit, but nobody's gonna know, because they don't have 2 grills. I like it. Kevin's got the big record truck paint. If you want to see what that thing's going on, you guys have to make sure and watch my some previous videos on the record truck build, so you guys can see where it's going. But we got one more project we're gonna cut out with this thing, so far so good. Alright, got that grill cut out. Kevin's over there painting it. Next project on today's list here at the old plasma table. We're going to make a fuel tank for this old Ford Highboy. You guys know anything about the Ford Highboys? They have a narrow frame width front to rear. It's kind of straight. only 34 inches wide on the outside, and there's not really any fuel tank options for them. So we're going to take this little spare tire mount thing out. Used to be a spare tire in here, so we're going to take that out, and we're going to build a fuel tank, and Tucker's going to weld it up to fit in here. So we got a drawing drawn up. It's going to hold about 26 gallons of fuel or so. But, so if you guys know, originally these trucks, this one still does, it has a fuel tank behind the rear seat back there inside the cab. So it's got like 18 or 19 gallons of fuel sitting right back here behind the seat. So not the best thing ever. We're going to put fuel injection on this motor, so we need to get an in-tank fuel pump and stuff. So we're just going to move it back here. This is a late high bore here. It's a 77, so it actually has a fuel tank door already. So we're going to utilize that and hook it up to our tank. So Mr. Tucker, how you doing? Just telling these people what we're building.
Fuel tank for high boy.
Fuel tanks for high boards. So we got this super sweet cardboard template like we do and everything.
75,000
No, you got to measure the outside here.
Oh, the
Right
outside
there.
of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can make it a little bigger because turn your calipers sideways, it'll measure better.
Oh.
So what, 900 roughly?
Mm-hmm.
You can probably, I cut like a 950 hole. Check your other ones and make sure they're all the same. So what he's doing, putting some threaded bungs in there. I don't know if you guys can see that there kind of. We've got our fuel tank, our top and bottom and our sides drawn up there. We get it cut out, we'll kind of show you what we're doing there. But we got a recess for a fuel pump sitting in there. We got a fuel pickup, sending unit, vent. And this is going to be our bottom. It's going to be built all in one piece. You see these end caps have a 45 on the ends. Once we get these cut out, we'll show you. But we did that because we're going to have exhaust pipes running past there, so we're trying to make enough clearance. But what do we say, 26 gallons on this roughly?
What's that?
29 plumb to the top. So do what?
When you point 950?
I'd say 950 would be good.
Right.
So you gotta do what, 4 1/4? You gotta divide that in half for your radius.
Yeah.
So those holes were what, 900 already. So we had got to change a few holes. I also want to check this sending unit location too. I think we need to move it off to the side to make our sending unit work too. So
0.425 then?
yeah, that would be 950, right?
Nope.
No,
That's 850.
470.
Yeah,
475. Trying to do math early in the morning, don't work. So we're gonna go ahead and make this tank out 1/8 inch. A little bit of overkill, but it's what we got sitting here. We don't ever have to worry about the tank getting damaged or torn up that way.
That's
So
bigger.
it should be bigger, yeah. Because we had a 900 hole, right? That's what I made before.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little few tweaks here, and we'll fire this dude back up and see how she does. All right, Tucker's got that part all modified. We're going into sheet cam right now, so he's gonna load that part into sheet cam. Sheet cam is gonna tell the plasma torch what to do.
I kind of
So-
forgot what I was doing for a second, to be honest.
So this torch, I think we're using a 45 amp fine cut right now, so it has a pretty narrow curve. I'm not exactly how wide it is. It's probably like 35 or 40 thousandths, but say if it's 40, when we cut our part out, we've got to set over and allow for that kerf width on that torch, so we get an accurate
Hold on.
size in our hole. So
I gotta remember which one to hit. Import.
import
There we
drawing.
go. I forgot.
So since we've got that torch, like this hole here, we cut this grill out, we offset the torch this way, so we had our exact dimension. So if we just cut on the line, if our torch is cutting 40 thousandths wide, it would have meant we'd cut our part 40 thousandths too narrow, because it would have been cutting 20 inside here and 20 inside that way. So this program basically tells the torch we can set up operations. So since we have holes in here, I always cut my holes out first, and we'll cut those at a little bit slower speed, and then we'll cut our outside objects last. So the reason I cut our holes out, I've explained this with my old cutter. If you cut this outside object out first, it can fall and maybe shift a little bit, especially on some bigger plate or something like that. Smaller pieces it can fall and shift, and when it does, your holes won't be lined up perfectly. So if you cut your holes in the sheet here and then cut your outside, if it does shift, it doesn't matter. So hopefully that makes sense. But he can do it.
We need to change the.
Our lead outs are a little bit long on that. So you doing the holes right now?
And do 45 on
I'd say you can speed those up to about 60 or so. Those are pretty good size. It doesn't really matter in this fuel tank, right?
that. Yeah.
You could probably honestly put those at 70. They're not going to matter. So he's doing 70 inches per minute on our holes right now. So those lead ins and lead outs are a little bit long. They won't matter on this. What we're doing, it's fine. So you just leave them alone.
0.15.
You put 125 or something. So that's another thing this program does. I'll show you when it pops up on the screen. what they call lead in and lead out. When that torch fires, that will blow a little bit of a hole out, and you don't want to do it right on the edge of
Is
your
that all
piece.
you
So.
want? I didn't.
No, you're fine.
I'll write it down.
Let's look at this and make sure it looks right.
Hold on. That was for the holes. You probably want to speed this up, don't you? This is at 75 for the outside.
Yeah, you can put it on 100. I
That's
think that's what we're cutting on yours. That don't matter. Just leave it.
I'm changing it anyway.
It's all in your head, Bubby.
I know. I gotta have it the same.
Let's zoom in. We'll show these people. So that's kind of hard to tell, but you got a start point right there in the corner. You can actually change these where it's a line out each way. Let's go over to a circle. So you see this green line? Let's go to a circle and zoom in if you guys can see this. So the actual edge of our part's on this outside of the circle right here. So a torch is going to start right here, and it's going to come around and cut this out, and it's going to lead out right here. It's what they call lead in and lead out. So it makes a nice clean circle edge. Tucker's getting all that done. We'll get her set up here and cut her out. Alright, so we're in the Mach 3 for the Fast Cut CNC. Tucker just selected his object. It's got all the code written over here. You guys can see that. We're going to do a dry run on here because we're real pinched on our sheet width here. We've only got about a 1/4 inch to play with. Hopefully we can get it to all fit on there. So we'll do a dry run without the torch, make sure everything fits. If it does, we'll fire up and see what it does. Hey, you're missing a wheel in your chair, bud. Tucker's getting her lined up with this Xbox controller. It's pretty handy. My other computer, you had to use the keyboard. You can use the keyboard on that one, but you can walk over to the piece here. So we got to be fudged all the way this way. We got room this way. You need to come over this way more. Keep coming. Let's zero that right there.
I think this is 0.
Yep, you got it. So he zeroed out all his axes.
I still don't know my buttons.
Okay, we're going to do a dry run here. I'm going to click the dry run button right here. Are you ready? Oh, we got a loader G code. We took it out a second ago. Might help. Okay, here we go. So it's cutting all those holes right now. We'll let that do that. We're worried about getting over on our edge right here. You gonna make it. Oh, it's so close. You got it. Barely. You got it. I don't like cutting it that close, but you do have it. You guys seen that little jump there? We did that for a reason. We'll show you that later. I think you got it. Alright, got some nice looking sheet. Thing cuts nice holes. I know we're cutting thin metal, but
Being that close to the edge is kind of not bad.
yeah, when he's cutting it close to the edge, it leaves a little slag, but the rest of them are very nice. Minimal dross slag buildup. I like it.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So we got to cut one more little part out. You see this little notch, we got to recess for a fuel pump here. We'll show you guys that in a second, but we got to cut one more part out of another sheet for that. But I'm pretty much certain we got our money's worth out of this one here, bud. Looking good. Alright, got the other piece cut out of that extra spare sheet we had laying around. I don't know what I was cutting here last time. It had some funky angles on it, but overall super pleased with this setup, so wouldn't hesitate. Definitely call those guys up, check them out. Like I say, they offer a couple different versions. This is the heavy duty, what they call the G8 Fabricator series. They have Elite, a little more lighter duty, I believe, but super impressed with the build quality, aren't you?
Yeah.
The way the computer's in there and everything, it's just quality and the finish is just very nice. So it's second to none.
I mean, it's just like using a cutter with more steps. It's kind
Yeah,
of,
but this thing's like super precision compared to the old one we had. So
oh yeah, I can tell the corners are a lot smoother.
it's cut nice and the holes are accurate. We literally put a piece, I mean, I said this earlier, put a piece in there and measured all the holes, and they measured within 2 to 3 thousandths of what we wanted to cut. So that's pretty impressive through a plasma cutter. So, but yeah, definitely reach out to these guys. If you call up here and talk to us, tell them that we sent you up there. But definitely a high quality product for sure. And I think everything's pretty much made in house. I was talking to Russ, so everything is sourced from North America for sure. So there's nothing overseas that I know of on these things. So it's all built there pretty much in Canada, and the parts are pretty much all sourced there too. So very high quality, very impressed. So now Hypertherm Power Max is doing a good job. So we're gonna get to welding this tank up. Tucker is. We got to bend a couple angles here. We got to get everything cleaned up first, and then we'll get to welding on it. I think Tucker may mess. I got a digitizer. Have no idea how it works.
I don't either, but I guess I'll figure it out.
It's basically a mat it lays down. You can lay, like say if you make a cardboard template or a paper template, you can put it on there, and it basically digitizes it and puts it up on the screen. So he's going to mess with that later on. If he gets it figured out, we'll bring you guys back in. You ready to do some bending, bud?
Sure, I just kind of.
This is a Finger Pincher 2000.
Finger crusher.
This is a 125 ton press brake. We got to bend this one in a 90. We got to put a couple 45s on this, and then we got to bend this little box here up. So we'll set you guys up.
Which way are you wanting?
You eyeball me and tell me when it gets close to 90. More? Want to check it? Can't go back.
Yeah, I know. They usually go a bit.
Alright, eyeball your 90 there again. Hold it right there. So you're there, ain't you? Close enough. Good job. Want to bend this little one? I don't know if you guys can see. You remember that torch was doing that little jogger earlier. We cut these little notches in here. So that's going to line up with our corner over here. So that tells us where to put our press brake at. We notched all of our pieces that way. So we've got to bend this one first up, and then we can bend these up. Make sense? Beautiful. Now we got to come all the way over here. Bend this so it clears here, see? Enough? pieces all bent here. We got the tank bent a little bit too far, didn't we? We can bend it back. We got everything sitting here. Tucker's been practicing TIG welding.
I've only done it a few times. I'm getting there. It's
looking pretty good.
It's not terrible.
We've been practicing a few things. We think we got her set up for you. I don't do much TIG welding.
I still feel like the smaller rod's better. It looks, I don't know.
So yeah, that was a 3/32 rod, and he's got 16th rod over here.
I think it's just my angle torch.
We'll start with that big rod. We're just gotta get all this stuff tacked together, and you can start welding. TIG welder is gonna be better on this tank. It's a lot slower, but it's gonna be a lot better for leaks.
Yeah,
less
I'll be
leaks.
here all day.
Yeah, we could use a MIG, and that's probably what I would do. But then we'd probably be going back through and fixing 2 or 3 leaks. But TIG's just a lot better because you can burn in. Once you stop here, you can burn in and get a good hot puddle before you start trucking.
And it's practice.
And look at the penetration getting through the backside. Flip those over, so you get a nice bead on the inside too. So you really got like two welding surfaces. Makes it super strong. So anyway, we're gonna get some of this tacked up here and get to going on it.
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
I don't know. I'm doing okay.
People are watching you.
I see that.
We've got quite the contraption going on here. So we tacked everything from the inside with the MIG gun, so it's a little bit easier and everything. Tucker's getting the final joints. We're kind of doing a 45 joint there. We got blocks of wood in the tank, Bubby. So I got this one cut so we can bow the sides out so we get a nice clean joint. We gotta flip it over and do the other side. But everything's coming out nice and lined up. Tucker's gonna get lots of TIG practice, aren't you?
Yeah, I've not done a whole lot of TIG, so it's...
Now you are.
Yeah.
How is it, bud?
It's not bad for being like my second time doing TIG.
First time doing TIG here?
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be beautiful.
I'll hold.
Tucker's getting her welded.
Kinda. I'm getting better.
You're getting better. Pretty good.
I mean, there's a little bit of, I don't know.
As long as she holds and don't have no leaks, should be perfect.
4.
How'd you do?
Not too shabby.
Looking good, Bubby. Still got some welding to do yet. Our Uncle Scott's convinced me to put a baffle in there. It's probably a good idea. I know the stock Ford tanks don't.
I only used 4.
Did you? 4 rods?
4.5. I don't know how.
Been melting steel. So the fuel pump's gonna sit in here. We're gonna put this baffle in there. Basically, it's gonna kind of hold some fuel in there if the fuel tank gets low. You shouldn't have run your tank low on fuel. It's hard on your pump. But since we still got it, we probably should have put this in here beforehand. But Tucker's just gonna MIG weld that down in there, like so. He just doesn't know it yet.
I'm tired. I'm gonna hit break.
Break? We don't have to take no breaks around here, bub. And then we got a weld in, sending unit. We still got this fuel tank box to weld in there. Fuel pump box. More welding. Looks good though, Tucker. That's gonna weld in there just like that. Got her all welded in there. Got that recess. You guys can kind of see why I was doing that recess there. Kind of recessing that fuel pump. We've got our lines plugged up here. Put our sending unit in. We got a rollover valve here. This is our fuel tank fill yet. We're probably just gonna hold it off with our hands or something. But Tucker's welded up these mount brackets. TIG weld those, and we got some. These are gonna go on top of the frame rail, retain the bolt. So, but you ready to plug that in there? I'll get that in there and get her adjusted down. So we're just gonna put just a little bit of air pressure on there. That's probably too much. Let it down a little more. We just want 3 or 4 pounds of air. We don't want to blow the tank up. So, how much you got there?
What?
How much you got there? That's probably good. You ready for some soapy water?
No.
You're scared, aren't you? Let the air off a little more.
What?
Still got too much air. And end up sending it right there. I'm kind of controlling the air pressure in my hands. Spray a little more. It's not looking too bad. You can always come back and check now. Start spraying your seams. Plenty on there. Corners and everything good. We'll do the bottom here after a bit. Let's just do the top. Alright, we're going to get all this sprayed and we'll see how many leaks we got. How many you think we got?
50.
How many leaks do we have, Bubby?
0.
0 leaks.
No.
That's pretty good on your first tank job.
Well, yeah, you did much better than that.
I can't say that I would have done that. That's a nice thing about TIG, though. If you'd MIG'd that, we would have had probably 4 or 5 leaks. That is good, Tucker. Good job. We have no leaks nowhere. Not even around our vents, spinning units, fuel pump. But maybe you can become a professional tank builder, Bubby.
I don't know about that.
You did a good job. I'm impressed. So
It's kind of all over the place.
I couldn't have done that. Now you've spent a long time welding on it, but
Well, you kind of have to. I don't know.
all right. Now we gotta lift that big old heavy monster up. Hunter, you gotta go back up in the air. We gotta get this thing test fitted before you take it outside.
Yeah, put those in the way.
What's that?
With the tires.
No, let's pick her back up. So we're gonna get this, we'll get these brackets fitted up in the frame, and then we'll slide that tank up here. Probably take your MIG welder over there, Tucker. I'd say you're done for the TIG.
Okay.
And we'll just MIG those brackets on.
I've done it.
All right, we got our brackets up here. Those are those little keeper bolts up there, so you don't need a wrench on the top side. We're gonna slide the tank up in here. We may have to slot this bracket to get in and out room. I don't know how close I got it, but they're gonna bring the tank over here, slide it up, and if it fits, then he'll tack this, weld that up. And we got to figure out the filler neck too. So.
Alright, well, I was on behind you first, that's all.
There's a jack behind you. Is it heavy?
No, it's awkward.
Awkward.
Big old hitch in the way, bub. I lift weights.
Do you?
No.
All right, we got the tank sitting in there. Tucker's tacking the brackets to the tank.
I think I'm just gonna call myself a welder at this point.
A welder? Oh, you're doing good, bub. So, we got about an inch of clearance between that and the hogshead. I know it probably don't look like it on when that goes up. We've got clearance there, but she's tight. We got about a ½ inch there. We got room on the side, so I think all in all it's gonna be good. We'll probably put a piece of rubber or mud flat between the frame and that. Once we get it bolted up there for good, you get a couple more tacks underneath here, Tucker.
More?
Yeah, so it don't come apart. So we got to get a filler neck in there, and then we'll be golden. All right, we got one last piece to cut out in the tank. We've got to make a kind of an oval adapter. I know I said I was going to have you get that digitizer working.
What happened?
Probably need to tweak that a little bit.
Can you do that in here?
You might be able to move that.
I don't know how to do that.
I think you can, but I don't know how. I'm trying to move that part.
I guess I'll go fix that.
So we're gonna make one more part of it. Basically, when we got that baloney cut in there, we got to make an adapter to that round hole in there. But he's gonna cut that out. That digitizer, we've not figured it out yet. Just not even had time. That would be nice where you could actually trace that part in a paper template and hold it out there. It would give us that exact shape. But maybe next time we gotta get some other stuff done, and he will definitely figure that digitizer out, 'cause it's gonna be pretty cool. But hopefully you guys liked that little video. If you did, give us a big thumbs up. It's kind of something different for sure. But you guys want to see what this here tank's going in, there's plenty of videos on this truck. It's got its own playlist, Highboy, Hunter's Ford Highboy. So guys, definitely go check that out if you want to see some more action on that. So we got a 460 engine build and all kinds of cool stuff going on with that. But definitely reach out to those guys if you're interested in anything, or you just want to stop by, drop them email, social media, say hi to them, we sent you. So, but as always, we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on more cool stuff. You want to see that digitizer working, we also have a scribe for that thing, so metal scribe, that's going to be kind of cool too. So we just got to get some extra time to figure that stuff out, and we got plenty more equipment videos coming up. We got stuff stacking up around here, so we will catch you guys next time. Say bye, Tucker. All right, one more thing. They told us, had the guys reach out to me at Fast Cut CNC. You guys might notice their plasma cutter become elevated. I said we needed 8 foot of distance between that CNC controller that's on the end and that thing, so I had my table sitting down there. So we just elevated it up. I think I can still reach the controls. I don't know about 5'9" ¼ over here, but
I'll get a stick.
he'll get a stick. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out so you guys don't do the same thing we done. Ideally, the machine would probably be sitting over here, but my power cabinet and everything's over there. So I think it'd be fine up there out of the way. So just want to give you that little piece of advice here.